touch the floor, but that's better.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 5:30, and I will call this regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. It is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have announcements, 2 proclamations, awards, and recognitions to do this evening. Our announcements have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Regular council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, October 2nd, and Tuesday, October 16th at 5:30 p.m. We have work sessions scheduled for Tuesday, October 9th, and Tuesday, October 23rd at 5:30 p.m. We have a special work session scheduled for Monday, October 15th at 5:30 p.m. with the Burnsville Sanitary Landfill expansion. And we also have another special work session scheduled for Wednesday, October 17th at 1 p.m., and that is for the city manager's interviews. That meeting will be held in Conference Room D, and the October 15th is a tour, and that is going to be out at the BSLI site. We also are in the midst of budgets. And so we want you to know that our budget work sessions are scheduled for Tuesday, October 23rd. We will be hearing from all of the different departments in the organization, and that's at 5:30 p.m. We have a budget work session scheduled for Tuesday, November 13th at 5:30 p.m. Another budget work session on Tuesday, November 27th at 5:30 p.m. And we adopt the budget and the final levy on Tuesday, December 4th at 6 p.m. All meetings are held here in the council chambers, except for the meetings that I indicated that will be held in Conference Room D for the city manager interviews and also for BSLI expansion. So we have 2 proclamations this evening. The first proclamation is for Fire Prevention Week. Whereas the city of Burnsville is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living and visiting Burnsville. And whereas home fires resulted in 2,735 civilian deaths in the United States in 2016, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to more than 352,000 home fires. And whereas the fire death rate per 1,000 home fires reported to the U.S. fire departments was 10% higher in 2016 than in 1980. And whereas Burnsville residents should identify places in their home where fires can start and eliminate those hazards. Working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires in half. Burnsville residents should install smoke alarms in every sleeping room, outside each separate sleeping area, and on every level of the home. Whereas Burnsville residents should listen for the sound of the smoke alarm, and when it sounds, respond by going outside immediately to the designated meeting place. Whereas Burnsville residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. Burnsville's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. Whereas Burnsville's residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take action to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2018 Fire Prevention Week theme, look, listen, learn, be aware. Fire can happen anywhere. effectively serves to remind us that we need to take personal steps to increase our safety from fire. Now, therefore, I, Elizabeth Couts, Mayor of the City of Burnsville, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of October 7th through the 13th to be 2018 to be Fire Prevention Week, proclaimed this second day of October 2018. The second proclamation is for Make a Difference Day, where serious social problems concern our nation and threaten its future, and whereas connecting with others and working together through volunteer service and bridge the difference that separate people and help solve serious social problems. And whereas as we, the American people, have a tradition of philanthropy and volunteerism, and whereas since 1992, volunteers and communities have come together on this day with a single purpose, to improve the lives of others, and whereas the people of Tenga, with support from Arby's Foundation and Points of Light, have joined to promote an annual National Day of Doing Good that celebrates and strengthens the spirit of volunteer service. And whereas volunteer service is an investment in the future, we all must share. Now, therefore, I, Elizabeth Couts, Mayor of the City of Burnsville, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim Saturday, October 27, 2018, to be Make a Difference Day in Burnsville, and urge my fellow citizens to observe this day by connecting with friends, fellow employees, and relatives, and with religious, school, and civic groups to engage in projects benefiting their community, proclaimed this second day of October 2018. In Burnsville, one of the most special days that we have is today, because it is the day that we also recognize all the folks in our community who have made a difference, and people have recognized that and submitted their names to the council to be recognized on this day. So we received a lot of folks who have been submitted to the council for recognition. And today we recognize those folks who are making a difference in our community. I will be doing that from that side. So each year since 1998, so 20 years ago, and I remember it so well, because we in Burnsville, we're a community that cares, we're a community that is compassionate, and that we are a community that's inclusive and recognizes when people do good and help our community prosper and care for one another. So Burnsville has recognized community builders every year for the last 20 years. And along with that, one of the things that I have done is to also recognize how they make a difference with the symbol of making a difference, which is a starfish. And the story of the starfish goes as such. There's a gentleman who lives by the seashore, and every year and every day, he takes a walk along the seashore. And one day, as he went out for his walk, he saw that the beach was just littered with starfish. And as he kept walking, he saw that someone out in the distance appeared to be dancing. And as he got closer, he saw it was a young girl, and he says, "What are you doing?" She went into a gunny sack and pulled out a starfish and skipped out and threw it into the ocean. And she said, "Throwing starfish." He looked back where he came from, and he said, "The beach is littered with starfish, and the sun is rising. You can't possibly make a difference." She went back, picked up a starfish, and threw it into the ocean, and looked at the older gentleman and said, "It made a difference to that one." You see, ladies and gentlemen, we make a difference in the lives of people, one person at a time, one event at a time. And sometimes you don't even know that you have made a difference in the lives of that person or the life of that person. Because there are so many stories that have been told that a smile kept someone from committing suicide. Or someone just saying, "How are you today?" Can I help you? Sitting down and listening to somebody in need makes a difference in the lives of those people. So in Burnsville, we have recognized people who have been community builders and people who have made a difference. And we present awards to individuals and to groups of businesses or groups in the community that have helped make a lasting impact on the quality of life in Burnsville. This year, on behalf of the City Council, I'm proud to present 9 Community Builder Awards. I'd like to ask the winners to please come to the presentation area, and I will read your name to receive your award and take photos. After I have presented all of tonight's awards, I will also like to ask the winners to then come back, and we'll take a photograph in the middle, and so that we'll have that available. But let me read the first recipient. The first recipient of the Community Builders Award goes to Olivia Bremer, 2018 Burnsville High School graduate and community volunteer. Olivia Bremer, a 2018 graduate of Burnsville High School and a dedicated community volunteer. In her school district and in her hometown community, Olivia volunteered nearly 1,400 hours of service between 10th and 12th grade. Olivia was active in volunteer initiatives with the school, such as Bowls for Brain Power, the BHS Giving Garden, Multicultural Night, and hashtag Burnsville Strong. Olivia was also selected by her classmate as Homecoming Queen in 2018. In school, she was the house manager for BHS Theater Productions, and she created a mentor program to work with special education students to become theater ushers. Outside of school, Olivia has been a student member of the Burnsville Park and Natural Resource Commission, a part of the International Festival of Burnsville, and a leader in the YMCA Youth and Government Program. Whatever she's involved in, Olivia always has the best interests of all students at heart and has made her school and community a better place. Thank you, Olivia. Would you please come forward? And I know this young woman because I have worked with her on many, many volunteer initiatives, and you have been such an inspiration to so many. So, Olivia, I'm going to pin you. And it won't scare you, I promise. I've been doing it for 20 years, so I should be good at it. And I also have some wonderful helpers when we have the big group. And so, everybody, are you all here? Okay.
All right. Everybody smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The next recipient is Jim Braddock, who has been a tireless community volunteer for several years. Jim is constantly giving his time freely to support a number of community activities, including service on the Burnsville Planning Commission, work on the Burnsville Fire Muster Board of Directors, work with the Burnsville Community Foundation as a member of the Burnsville Mobile Volunteer Network, or MVN. With the MVN, Jim serves as a sergeant of the Public Relations Group. He is known by those who work with him to always keep the mood light and make his team members feel comfortable, even in high-stress situations. Thank you, Jim, for your many years of service to the community. Would you come forward, please? All of us know Jim because we have worked with him on all the different things that he has participated in. And thank you, Jim, for all of the work that you do for our community. Okay.
And I trust you.
Yeah, thank you. And I won't stick you.
smile on three. One, two, three. And let's do one more on three. One, two, three.
Thank you. The next recipient is Brad Gluth. Since 2013, Brad has been an active mentor with kids and kinship. Currently, he is meeting weekly with a young man who needed a positive role model in his life. Brad is known by his fellow kids and kinship mentors as kind, caring, and dedicated to making a positive impact on the lives of youth. In addition to serving as a mentor, Brad also donates his time to staff volunteer booths and speak about his experience. He is the first one to say, yes, I can help, whenever the organization needs a helping hand. In addition to Kids and Kinship, Brad volunteers throughout the Twin Cities. He was active in the last year's Super Bowl activities and is a co-chair for the Twin Cities Marathon. In his work at Toro, Brad has been organizing the company's Loaves and Fishes serving nights for the last 30 years. He is also the leader of the usher team at his church. Thank you, Brad, for making a difference in Burnsville. Please come forward. Okay, may I pin you?
Yep.
Okay, I think you're going to just do it here.
Easy.
Yes. Okay.
Get the right one here. Everybody smile on three. One, two, three. Let's do one more on three. One, two, three.
Thank you. The next recipient is Kent Gunderson, and he was nominated by his neighbors in the 19-home townhome community in which he resides. He is known by his neighbors as the neighborhood resource for anything related to the buildings and has saved the townhome community well over $10,000 over the years in consultant fees and labor costs by taking on much of the work himself. As a member of the Homeowners Association Board, Kent has provided calm leadership throughout difficult years with building defects and repairs. He handles landscaping and drainage issues, 30-year reserve fund planning, is the point person for on-site contractors, and has developed a new website, newsletter, and more for his community. He is also the first to step up and help his neighbor to make a repair or update, or provide advice and guidance on building-related issues. Thank you to Kent for your ongoing dedication. Kent, will you come forward, please? Yes.
All right. Everybody smile on three. One, two, three. Let's do one more on three. One, two, three.
The next recipient is Linda Jones. Linda has coordinated the Burnsville Fire Muster vendor and Kids Corner vendors for several years. She spends 9 months out of the year answering vendor questions and seeking out businesses and organizations to make sure the event has a full slate of booths. In addition to soliciting and serving as a liaison for vendors, Linda is also responsible for making sure they know where to set up their materials and what to expect during the event. She is available from early Friday morning of Fire Muster weekend until noon Sunday, any time of the day, to make sure everything goes off smoothly. Thank you, Linda. And Linda, please. And you can see Linda on the grounds throughout the whole event. So, thank you, Linda. Thank you.
All right. Everybody smile on three. One, two, three. Let's do one
Thank you. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you for your service.
The next recipients are Tom and Deb Shepley. The Shepleys have been volunteering for Burnsville, Egan, Savage School District since 2008, when their oldest of 4 sons was in 5th grade. Over the years, they have been actively involved in supporting student athletes, their families, and athletic programs. The Shepleys have run booster clubs, served on boards, organized tournaments, led fundraising events, managed concessions, and are known as superfans for all Burnsville Blaze athletics. In addition, the pair started homework tutoring sessions to provide student athletes with academic support, a meal, and a quiet place to study, even ride home when needed. Thank you, Tom and Deb, for your leadership, dedication, and commitment to our youth. Thank you so much. So I'm going to, so Deb didn't come.
No, she's,
So you're going to have to pin
I'll
her.
pin her for you.
Okay, thank you. That, and that, and here we go.
All right. Everybody smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tell her we missed her. The next recipient is Gretchen Moen and Michelle Christian. And Dakota Child and Family Clinic is a primary care clinic for all ages. But according to their coworkers, Gretchen and Michelle have made it much more. The duo hosts support groups for parents of children with disabilities, free for anyone, even non-patients, and are active in the first 4-H club in Dakota County to be inclusive of children with disabilities. They are starting a support group for Somali parents that have children with autism and also have a walking club to help keep the community healthy. They host community events such as health fairs, holiday events, and barbecues, all free and open to the public. Recently, the clinic has started seeing victims of sex trafficking and works with a large population of patients with mental health concerns. Most importantly, they provide quality health care to each and every patient, regardless of their ability to pay. Thank you, Gretchen and Michelle, and Dakota Child and Family Clinic. Would you please come forward? Thank you so much for making a difference. Yeah, okay. May I pin you?
I hate needles.
And and so, okay.
Everybody smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. The next recipient is the Church of the Risen Savior. For actively makes Burnsville a better place every day. They partner around the community to help those in need from both the Latino and Anglo communities. They provide emergency necessities to those in need, conduct monthly food drives, provide regular community space for several community groups, and serve folks from all over the community, from all walks of life, and from all faiths. So I thank you, Church of the Risen Savior, for your service to Burnsville. And I know the administrative director is here, yes. so much. And,
Yes,
and
sure.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much. So when I come to church, I expect to see this.
To see this
someplace
displayed
special.
prominently, right?
Yes.
All right, everybody smile on three. One, two, three. Let's get one more on three. One, two, three.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Your service.
And so, for the last group that is receiving a Community Builders Award, this is the International Festival of Burnsville Board, who was established in 2006 to celebrate the city's cultural diversity and is held annually in July. The festival takes place at Nicollet Commons Park and features a range of music and dance groups representing cultures around the globe, as well as ethnic food, cultural displays, and kid-friendly activities. The International Festival Committee has worked for many years to create and build upon this popular outdoor festival. They worked tirelessly for several months to seek sponsorship, plan and coordinate vendors, schedule cultural display, organize art exhibits, conduct a flag ceremony, and find artists and volunteers. And of course, they scheduled the fine music and dance performance that makes this event so special. And so if the volunteers and committee of the International Festival could please come forward. And Carlos Lopez. I'm going to have you hold that, but we're going to pin everybody, so I'm going
We might need to move this group to the
to them. Yeah, this is a big group. Okay.
You know, over here.
West in the middle here.
Yeah, I think we want to make sure we're.
See, I'm good rule for.
It's just falls, they were fixed last week, that's a big one. And then we're staying over here for the big. You can take the picture now. You can take the picture now. We're here.
Everybody, so good.
Good, nobody screamed.
So
Yet.
did everybody get?
My first claim, pinned, injured.
Cheers.
Big group. Can you see
I
everybody?
think so.
Okay.
All right, everybody smile on three. One, two, three. Take a couple more here on three. One, two, three. Let's get one more. One, two, three.
And now if we can have all of the recipients of the Community Builders Award, you please come forward, so we can have a big picture with everybody. You know, because Marty needs to make sure that everybody in the community knows how big of a group that we have, that serves our community and makes a difference, so.
Yes,
please
bring
come
your
forward.
awards.
Yeah, bring your awards, so you all, yeah.
And if we could get everybody just maybe step back and then squeeze in as much as
And,
you
yeah,
can.
and we can.
All people in the
You can maybe
back,
stagger a little bit,
shorter in the front.
squeeze in, make it.
Everybody wants to be in.
Yeah. Try people in front. Is everybody on board? Oh, gosh.
No falling. No falling.
Are you okay? Can you? I am fine. Can you see? I am fine. Yeah, so one of the things I understand is that if you can't see the camera can't see you. Hurry, Olivia.
My picture.
All right, everybody look this way and smile on three. I'm gonna take a couple of these. 1, 2, 3. Let's do another one on 3. 1, 2, 3. And then let's go back up just a bit here. And let's do one more. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe Nan.
Yeah,
He
right.
is. He is, actually.
yeah, totally.
Now there'll be no
Now,
more.
wasn't that fun? Okay, we now are going to recognize and appreciate the people who have served our community through our commissions. And the first recipient that we're recognizing, again, Olivia Bremer, for your dedication and your service to the community on our Parks and Natural Resource Commission, July 2016 to June 2018. Thank you so much, Olivia. Okay, you guys. You know, you're not done yet. Yeah. Okay, everybody? Yeah. Come on, Dana, you.
All right, everybody, let's look this way first on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more on 3. 1.
Yeah, yeah,
She's lighting them up.
yeah, that's right. So we're also pleased to recognize Brad Ulrey for his dedicated service to the community, Parks and Natural Resource Commission, November 2013 to June 2018. Brad, I don't see him. Okay, we'll do this. And our next recipient is Jim Bradrick. You know, here are people who continue to do. We want to thank Jim for his dedicated service to the community through the Planning Commission, July 2013 to June 2018. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Jim.
All right, everybody smile on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get one more here on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And we also wish to recognize Ram Singh for his dedicated service to the community on the Planning Commission, June 2009 to June 2018. Ram, you're going to be missed.
Alright, let's go right here. There we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Too far. Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we also wish to recognize Jane Bristow. Jane isn't here tonight, but Jane, I want everybody to know that Jane served our community on the Ames Center Advisory Commission, July 2016 to June 2018, and we'll do that for Jane next time. Gerald Schmidt is not here also, and
Oh, he's here.
He's here.
Oh,
Right ahead.
oh, there's Gerald. I'm sorry, I'm looking to the community on the Ames Center Advisory Commission, July 2017 to June 2018. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much. Okay, wasn't that a fun night? And now we move on to citizens' comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on an item that is not on a printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us? I believe the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce wishes to speak. Please come forward. Your name and address for the record, even though we know who you are, but the folks watching us.
I'm Tom Taylor. I'm Policy Chair of the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce.
And Jennifer Harmoning, Burnsville Chamber President.
Let everybody know that both of you are residents of Burnsville,
are.
please.
20-something years. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to have a member, president of our chamber. There's also a resident of Burnsville.
Yes.
That really helps very much.
For over 20 years, too.
Yes.
So we're here tonight because a year ago we came to you and we asked you to put together a comprehensive plan for redevelopment and economic development in our community. We pledged and we said we would support an additional increase in the economic development funds for that purpose. You took us seriously. We threw our support behind your effort in that. And we came today because we've read the comprehensive plan. We have discussed it in some detail, and we'd like to make a proclamation tonight.
Thank you.
So our Public Policy Committee, I want to thank Jenny Faulkner and Skip Nienhaus for coming to our Public Policy Committee meeting and presenting the plan that's been put together by the Economic Development Commission. They did a great job of presenting that, answering all the questions that the committee had, and the committee was very impressed. They went on to create a position statement, which they presented to our Board of Directors on September 20th. Tom, being one of our board members, is here to help present that tonight. And so I'd like to read the statement to you. A resolution supporting the proposed economic development strategic plan for the city of Burnsville. The Burnsville Chamber of Commerce finds that the proposed strategic plan for economic development for the city of Burnsville meets the criteria for support. Therefore, the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce endorses the following. Whereas it is the mission of the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce to unite and support local businesses while increasing economic opportunities and fostering a healthy business climate. And whereas the strategic plan for economic development presented by the City of Burnsville addresses the critical issues facing Burnsville today, including the Burnsville Shopping Center County Road 42 corridor, image of ISD 191 and City of Burnsville, continuation of Heart of the City, building awareness of existing housing and commercial programs, and development of new programs as appropriate to continue the city's position as a regional destination. Whereas the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce believes the proposed investment in the strategic plan for economic development will provide a return on investment for our community and will enhance the economic vitality of Burnsville. Whereas the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce supports the partnerships as outlined in the strategic plan and believes that these partnerships will help ensure success of the plan. Whereas the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce supports the addition of specific progress measures to the plan to ensure proper execution and accountability. Whereas the Burnsville Chamber supports a proactive approach to the changing economy and aging of our community. Therefore, the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce supports the City of Burnsville's adoption and implementation of the strategic plan for economic development presented by the Economic Development Commission. I want to thank you for hearing us tonight. I know this issue will not be before you for another month, but our board was excited to endorse this on September 20th, and we wanted to bring that straight to you now. So if there's any questions, thank you.
I think for me, I want to thank you for being engaged in the process as well, and coming to the meetings, being present, and adding your voice. And I also want to thank you for the leadership collaboration that the Chamber also convenes, which includes the city, the Chamber, ISD 191, and Experience Burnsville. And we also included our commissioner at Dakota County. So I thank you because together we make a difference for Burnsville, and together we prosper. So thank you for your support, and that you know that we listen and we work together. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is for emergency items only, and this is additions to the final agenda. Ms. Hardy, are there any additions to the final agenda?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council, very good. The next item is the consent agenda. This is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. However, an item on the consent agenda can be removed for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone who wishes an item on the consent agenda to be removed for a separate discussion and vote? Ms. Hardy?
None from staff, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council?
Move
Ma-
to approve.
There is a motion to
Second.
approve, and there is a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, there are no items on the regular agenda, and a motion for adjournment is in order.
Motion move.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Thank you for being with us, and have a good night.